you for Sports Talk with Knockout. So we are up again with another show today to preview the game between Afghanistan and Sri Lanka in Asia Cup. We have had a long break from all our talk shows. Now we are back at it again. We did one last week as well. So introducing my usual guest to you, Dinuk Bhaskaran, after a busy rugby season. Welcome back, Dinuk.
Thank you, Akil. Good to be back
And how are
after a
you?
very long time. Good, very good. It was a tiring rugby season for all of us, and it's still not over. We have one more game to go. Isipatana taking on St. Peter's, repeat of the league final. It's going to be very interesting this weekend to see how that will pan out. St. Peter's will want to finish on a high. Isipatana will want to give it back to them for losing the league final. It has been always these two teams that has been contesting in all finals, sevens, the league and the knockouts. So very good consistent performance by both these teams. Good all round teams as well. It'll be interesting to see.
Let's talk more on it on a different show, because we have a lot to talk. Just to touch upon, because I was also involved in my school regarding the rugby this year, and you were also involved. More than on-field things, a lot of off-field things as well. And what do you think about that?
Good to have that banter, isn't it? After a very long time, sometimes it feels a little new because for the past 3 years we have been not having this. Last year's season was just a kickoff. This year it has been a full-on season for everyone. A lot of who's and us, on-field decisions. A lot of talk about spectators officiating and all those things. It's good to have that banter. End of the day, it's a game and we move forward.
Good to see everyone involved in the game as well. After a long time, after a pretty long break in terms of COVID, and then last year it was back, and this year basically every school was very competitive. Even though St. Peter's won it unbeatenly, there were some other schools who came up with good fights. So it was a good tournament and a healthy competition in rugby.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember having a conversation after the first week of the league, and literally we were in a discussion. We were talking about saying there will not be an unbeaten team this year. But credit to St. Peter's, they have kept that tag on, being unbeaten throughout. But I think this is one of the closest fought rugby seasons in the in the last decade, even if so to say. All the teams put their hands up. Every team have won matches. I think except for Kingswood, all the other teams have won at least, and Kingswood and Science, all the other teams have won at least one game. So it was a very, very competitive league for sure. And credit to St. Peter's, credit to the committee led by my good friend Samson Roy, their coaching staff, Sanat Martis, have done a wonderful job in terms of the league. But just wait for the knockouts final. You never know what Salia and the boys from Havelock Town have up their sleeves. They have seen them once. They're deadly side, Isipatana College. So I was actually, in terms of rugby played, they were a treat to watch this season.
I was there
Flawless.
at least for 3 or 4 games which they played, and obviously the semi-final. When they get hold of the ball, they're unstoppable.
Yeah,
අපි ගැන කතා
flawless.
කරමු දිනුක් අපේ වෙනම ෂෝ එකක් තියලා we have some other guests joining as well for the rugby show. Lot of sports happening in Sri Lanka these days. Football under 20, the Blaster tournament is also going on after a pretty long time. Schools football is involved and it's happening in Sri Lanka, especially the teams from north and east. Few schools from Jaffna, about 3 schools from Jaffna, few schools from Ampara, Aligarh Central, and also from down south schools. So about 20 schools participating in that very competitive tournament. Even Colombo schools are having a hard time, challenged by those teams. Good for the game, good for the future of the game. But unfortunately, a lot of things happening in football in terms of administration. So we'll hope that everything is cleared and Sri Lanka gets a chance to compete in the global level in both rugby and football.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have no short of talent. Rugby, yes, we have a issue with the physique competing in the with the other nations, especially Japan and China have moved way far ahead of us. But if you take in football, I think it's all about speed and skill, and definitely Sri Lanka can be one of those top sides if you with the skill and talent you have. I'm sure there is enough talent, like you said, from the outstation for football. There is a lot of love for the sport throughout the country, and of course, it's a global game, right? So the more you spread, the more you will find, and Sri Lanka can definitely compete in that aspect of the sport because it is not as physical as rugby or, for that matter, cricket currently. But totally the different, sport which we can definitely compete in the bigger stage.
Okay, now we have done with 7 minutes talking about other sports. Now we'll come to the subject Asia Cup 2023. Two venues, rain interruptions, a lot of drama happening in Asia Cup as well. Even today's game was interrupted about twice or thrice. It was India and Nepal, but still it's happening. Good that all 50 overs will be played per innings. And most importantly, Sri Lanka played the previous game versus Bangladesh, a pretty dominating performance. Bangladesh were all out for 160 odd, and Sri Lanka finished in 39 overs. Did you expect that, or did you see that really coming versus Bangladesh?
Um, Yes, I had confidence in the team. Only doubt I had was our bowling unit. We were going literally with a third string or a second string or third string bowling unit, except for Kasun Rajita and Mahesh Teekshana. No one else were actually tested in our bowling unit. Batting, yes, was very comfortable with the lineup we have now. Dimut at the top, Nisanka, Mendes, Asalanka, Dasun, Shanaka, DDS, all of them are settled in their positions, and we should not tinker too much on that aspect. Bowling, unfortunately, there are a lot of injuries, a lot of cricket happening these days for these boys. Yeah, fitness has been an issue, but I think managing them is important going into the World Cup as well. So, very dominating performance by Sri Lanka, like you said. Bangladesh are also missing two of their key batsmen on the top in the top for them. So it's but still for Sri Lanka to come and do what they did at Pallekele was magnificent. All-round performance. There was a slight hiccup in the chase, but that's where Charita Salanka. I have a lot of time for him. He's going to be a star in the future. Definitely, he's so nice to watch when he's on song. I think he has sorted out his game now. He's more balanced. He knows what the team requires of him. So we will only see the good sides of him from here on, and he's a very, very good prospect for the future.
So, I mean, our bowling lineup was on the spot on that particular day, even without guys like Manigawa Saranga, Dushman Samirat injured and Lahiru Kumarat හිටියේ නැහැ මැච් එකට. ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ බෝලිං එක almost collapse වෙලා තිබ්බේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ බෝල් ලයින් අපේ තිබ්බේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේ වෙලාවක කසුන් රාජිත වගේ කට්ටිය ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ experience එක use කරා. And also දසුන් ශානක එයාත් captain ගේ බර්ඩ් එක එයා අරන් එයා wicket එකක් ගත්තා. එයා fair amount of overs bowled කරා. Also ධනංජය ඩිසිල්වා. දැන් මේ වගේ වෙලාවක තමයි දෙනුක් senior players like contribution එක ලංකාවට ඕනේ. So this was a perfect time where they came into play.
Yeah, absolutely. I think ඒක blessing in disguise එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද නැත්තම් අපි DDS එච්චර use කරන්නේ නැහැ. දසුන් ශානක යාව බෝල් කරන්නේ නැහැ. Now, if you see Wanindu Asaranga Aya Apuama, Dushmanta Chamina Aya Apuama, if you see a balance in the 11, hopefully being they fit for the World Cup, we will have good 7 bowlers there, plus a good 7 batters there, which is going to be very, very important going into the World Cup. Because World Cup එකේ මේ වගේ පොඩි totals තියෙන එකක් නැහැ, good Indian pitches. There will be a little bit of doubt because southern part of India වල පොඩ්ඩක් තාම වහිනවා. Even in Delhi it's raining, so India also is going through rain. So preparation for the World Cup, because they, mind you, they started their preparation very late in terms of grounds, because after the IPL තමයි ඒ කට්ටිය මුළු ground එකම සුද්ධ කරලා දැන් පටන් ගන්න තියෙනවා. So pitches කොහොම තියෙද කියලා අපිට තාම හරියට predict කරන්න බෑ, but usually Indian pitches are very good. එතකොට Sri Lankan, like you said, because in this match අපිට test කරන්න පුළුවන් වුණා දසුන් ශානක, DDS, yes, of course, tried and tested bowler. I always feel he has 10 overs in him in a 50 over game. Dasun Shanaka can come and bowl 3 or 4 overs. Matisha Patirana got a very good exposure. It's all about now they will start reading him, how he adapts. So for me it's a blessing in disguise that the senior pros are not there, but yes, they have to come back.
Matisha ගැන thoughts තිබ්බා that he can play only the shortest format that 10 overs bowl කරන්න තියෙන risk එක ගන්නවා කියලා. But මගේ idea ගන්නව දිනු he is still young. Young නිසා I don't see any issue bowling. I mean he playing the ODIs.
Yeah, I don't think there is an issue. I mean මේ ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩක් ආවේ අකිල් මේ MS ධෝනි කියලා තිබ්බා මතීෂ ගහන්න ඕනේ important tournaments විතරයි නැත්තම් T20 focus කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒ වගේ එක්කෙනෙක් එහෙම කියපු ගමන් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය ඒක දිහා බලනවා. ඊට පස්සේ එයාගේ පැත්තෙන් හිතනවා, but Matisha is young, like you said, can bowl 10 overs. He has a problem. I mean action එක ගැන lot of doubts තියෙනවා, but if he can keep himself fit, Malinga went through a whole career having the same action, so Matisha also can do the same, but he has to 10 overs unat. I don't know if he can bowl 6 overs in a trot, but he can definitely bowl 2-3. I'll tell you, he's a superb option in the middle overs to take wickets. If we have Dushmanta Chamira, if we have Wanindu Hasaranga and Matisha Patirana bowling in the middle overs, that's going to be a deadly bowling attack. Bit of Dilshan Madhushankar at the top. Mahesh Teekshana will come. He can bowl at the death as well. So going into the World Cup, we have a solid bowling lineup. If we execute our plans, we are going more beyond the semi-finals for sure.
Also Bangladesh match එක ගැන කතා කරද්දී අපි දැක්කා second innings එක ගැන අපි chase කරනකොට as usual අපි hero වෙනවා කියලා කිව්වොත් right එකත් අපි hero වුණා shot එක because we losing about 3 wickets. අපි හිතුවා ඔක්කොම usual collapse එකට යයි කියලා ලංකාව. ඒ වගේ වෙලාවක චරිත අසලංක super innings එක සෙල්ලම් කරා with maturity කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. And also Sadira මට හිතන විදිහට දිනුක් වෙනදා නැති ස්ටැබිලිටි එක මිඩල් ඕඩර් එකට ගේනවා. එයා ගෙනල්ලා ඉනින්ස් එක ලස්සනට ඒ කියන්නේ කිසිම රෂ් එකක් නැතුව එයා ඉනින්ස් එක අරන් යනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ වගේ ටෝටල් එකක් චේස් කරද්දී සදීරගේ contribution ගොඩක් වටිනවා මේ දිනුක්.
Yeah, Sadira is a very similar player to DDS. Why I'm telling this is they're very free-flowing batsmen. And good to have them in 4 and 6. I think Sadira comes at 5 and DDS comes at 6. What happens here is both of them can accelerate, can have shots. The issue that Sadira had all this time is that he was not picking the right ball to play his shots. He's a very, very good player, 360. DDS also can play 360. Now they know their game. Now you see maturity in Sadira. That's why you see a lot of runs in him. Mind you, he broke Angelo Matthews's place and has come in, right? So it's not a place that you can easily beat and come in. You're talking about experience versus talent. Talent has got over experience here. Sadira will be tested, but I think he has all the ingredients in him to come good. He's a very, very good player for Sri Lanka. Shouldn't uh, tinker too much. Give him that role that he has been given now, because he's a player who can rotate the strike. He can hit the long ball. Good, very very fluent player. Will be a good foil for Sri Lanka to play around Sadira, DDS, and Kusal Mendis.
And may bowling lineup because unless and otherwise we have a very off day. Any batting lineup, I think we can keep below 300. 250, 300 level එක අපි තියාගන්න පුළුවන් ගොඩක් batting lineup අපි bowling powers එක්ක. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ අපි ස්කෝර් එක chase කරද්දී සදීර අසලංක වගේ big hitters ලා ඕනේ අපිට ඕනේ score accumulate කරගෙන to keep the scoreboard moving. ඒ වගේ ගොඩක් situations අපිට එයි කියලා අපිට හිතනවා with the World Cup coming up as well. අනිත් එක Super Fours වලත් මම හිතනවා ඇත්තට high scoring වෙන එකක් නැහැ කියලා pitches are covered most of the time. ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් turn එක තියේ ඒ වගේ වෙලාවක these boys can be very handy.
Yeah, absolutely. Then Ketarama Colombo Unat, there is talk that they're going to move the venues. I'm not sure if it is confirmed or not still. But Colombo today was okay. There was not much rain. Kandy is fine. They're continuing. Lahore is deadly, so there won't be any rain expected there. So no problems up in flat pitches. It's going to be 300 plus scores. So Mehe, talking about the Asia Cup, they won't be tested as much because Sri Lanka is going to play in home conditions definitely. Except for a game, I think they might play in Pakistan. Still not sure how the draw will turn up. But if they play in Pallekele or in Colombo, it's going to be home grounds for them. වැඩිය වෙනසක් වෙන එකක් නැහැ pitches වල two pace වෙන්න පුළුවන් because of the rain. So there could be some moisture, could quicken up later on, settle වෙන්න පුළුවන්, එක පැත්තක් bounce වෙන්න පුළුවන් like in Pallekele. So everything to wait and watch how it turns out.
Sri Lanka Bangladesh game එක කතා කරා දැන් අපි යමු හෙට මේ group එක still live කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. All three teams have a chance. Bangladesh is almost through 100% through කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. The result of the tomorrow's game will decide who will go through next. Slight pressure එකක් තියෙනවද ලංකාවට?
Yeah, I think the pressure එකක්. එච්චර හොඳට first match එකක් ගහලා if you're still not in a winning position, they have to play this game in Lahore against Afghanistan. It's not going to be easy. Afghanistan had already played there, so they have that advantage. They know how the wicket is going to be. For Sri Lanka, it's not going to be easy. But it's a very simple. I think they shouldn't, worry about mathematical calculations. Just go for the win the game, and then take it on from there.
Be happy with the win, but Afghanistan need a convincing win to go through the next round because they will be needing a good margin if they bat first, and they will need to chase quickly if they bat second. So which is a hard ask.
Yeah, within 35 overs wage gahanna. Yeah, so depends if Sri Lanka puts on a good score 300 plus, it's not going to be easy for them to chase. Again, if they put Sri Lanka if they had to bat first, again they'll have a lot of pressure. So it's not going to be easy. Key factor is Rashid Khan went for 66 runs yesterday in his 10 overs, bowling a maiden as well in that 10 overs. So literally 9 overs 66. Bangladesh just kept attacking at him. So Sri Lanka will be wary of it. So he'll come back stronger. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I think, but Sri Lanka will have all the capabilities. They have to go 12 in a row, and the 12th is going to be testing.
Kusal ගැන දැන් changes අපි playing 11 එක changes කරන්න ඕනේද කියලා කතාවක් තියෙනවා. Do we think we will have to replace Kusal with Kusal?
I don't think so. I mean, Kusal Mendis, if you see him, he has it was eye opener for me because once I watched Naveen Nawaz's press conference, only I figured that how successful Kusal Mendis has been. අර එක format එකේ එකක් මැච් එකක් දෙකක් එහෙන් ගහන්න නැති වුණාම තමයි ඒක මේ ඔය ප්‍රෙෂර් එක එන්නේ. But I don't think we shouldn't change anything. Winning combination එක මාරු කරන්න වැඩි ඕනේ නැහැ. වැඩි හිතන්න ඕනේ නැහැ දැනට. Kusal Mendes will come good. When he comes good, then it's going to be a bonus for us. So we shouldn't change much because we already එතන බැලුවොත් we already have Dimut Karunaratne on top, left-hander. අපි එතකොට ආයේ චරිත අසලංකත් left-hander කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. So we are then playing 3 left-handers in the top against Rashid Khan, who will take the ball away from him. You have Mujib who will take the ball away from him. So they can ball both ways, of course, but I think you shouldn't do a lot of changes in terms of the winning combination of Sri Lanka.
You asking about my partner, but I thought he's sleeping, but he's still awake. He's Akib, thank you for being awake and raising up a question as well. BCCI had a huge influence on deciding venues. Otherwise, plan was to play in Dambulla or Hammattu. There is a rumor that we have offered Dambulla initially to Indian team, and they have refused to play in Dambulla. So, what's your thoughts on that,
Not sure. I also just saw a news item. Not only BCCI, even the broadcasters have refused to go there. I'm not sure why. Logistically, I don't know if it is tougher for them to set up in Dambulla, whereas Pallakele or Premadasa, you have everything set. You just have to do the setup there. So BCCI, along with I don't see any logistical issues. BCCI in terms of hospitality, we have enough and more hotels around Dambulla than in Kandy as well. But if it is true, then actually you have to raise a question if it is Pakistan who is hosting.
There was an under-19 series recently in Dambulla. We didn't have any coverage for that. If I am correct, didn't see any coverage given for that under-19 series between Sri Lanka and West Indies. So there could be a logistical barrier there.
Yeah, probably because it is. I don't know if it was refurbished recently, but it's a stadium that was built quite some time ago. Where there was no DRS, there was no extra cameras, very straightforward, simple production. But now I think you need a lot of camera placements here and there. So Star Sport checking gantries gahala.
TMO.
Sorry.
Just like you go for a rugby match without TMO.
I don't think it's a choice anymore.
Yeah, Akim, good question. Again, Pakistan pacers might have a definite advantage there when you play them in those conditions. 3 deadly fast bowlers bowling 30 overs out of 50 is a big challenge. Not only in Dambulla, I think it's wherever it is. We'll come to that after talking about the playing 11 for Sri Lanka. So you don't want to make any changes, but in Lahore, flat wicket and the boundaries also not that big. So good for stroke making. So Kusal Janith is a natural stroke maker. So if Kusal Janith have to come to the playing 11, who you think we should be replaced if he has to make?
Big call. If he has to come in, I think he has to come in at the top, in the top 3. So either it is Kusal Mendes or Dimut Karunaratne. So one of the two. So Dimut Karunaratne is brought in to bring in stability. You have Pathum Nisanka as well up there. So for me, there is no reason to make a change currently. Good to have a player like Kusal Perera in the sidelines. Should take him to the as well. A wicket keep option. A wicket keep option, and also a good experience option on the bench. So it's good to take him for the World Cup, keep him in the bench, but not to make any changes at the moment. Had Afghanistan won yesterday, it would have been an experimental match.
Yes, true that they will not make changes on a winning streak. It's important to carry on with the momentum when you're winning. So when you're winning, you make it a habit. So that's what happening for in the ODI team of Sri Lanka. I would say for the last 11 games, no matter who is opposition is, still you have to go there and play and win. So winning this kind of about 11, right?
Yeah, 11 on the trot, 12th will be tomorrow, hopefully.
11 on the trot, regardless of the opposition, is quite a big achievement. Then
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, see, you're playing international matches, right? It's not you're playing gully cricket, and every team and most of those wins came in Zimbabwe against West Indies, against Zimbabwe, who's a very very good side, against Ireland. So these teams are capable of toppling any top team in the world. So it's not you shouldn't take any team lightly. World Cup could give us a lot of upsets as well. So you shouldn't take any team lightly. Yeah, but win is a win, no matter the opposition. It's an international win. It's a away win, and 11 consecutive wins is a good achievement.
talking about our top order, Dimut and Pathum will be opening. So they quite didn't find the last game, but experience of Dimut and Dimut especially might be very handy for Sri Lanka in crucial games when you're playing quality bowling sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even tomorrow, his experience will count a lot because we are playing in Lahore. He has played a couple of test matches there. So tomorrow's match, he will bring in a lot of experience and stability. And Pathum Nisanka, good stroke maker, one of the technically correct batsmen in the Sri Lankan team. Very very good player. So yeah, it will be a match for the Muth tomorrow.
Which World Cup are you talking about, Inzam? What do you think? Which World Cup is referring to?
Both World Cups they have a chance. Good team, both good teams. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, deviating off the topic. Friday is the match against France. So yeah.
Okay, apologies taken, Inzam. Uh, so thanks. He's one of my friend. His name nicknamed Josa. So he was a manager of Zaire rugby team this year. Went through a lot of pressure and somehow delivered it with a good finish. And all the best and congrats to you, Josa. And let's come back to the toss. So whoever wins the toss, they will elect to bowl first.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Yesterday, Bangladesh batted first and posted 345, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think it'll be a good toss to lose in Lahore. But yeah, runs on the board always is a good thing to have. So if in case Sri Lanka wins the toss, bat first, put the pressure on Afghanistan, then they'll crumble under pressure chasing. You have the goods to pick up wickets with the likes of Tikshana, Matisha, and then Kasun Rajita. So yeah, win the toss, bat first.
Comment people are commenting, deviating us very frequently. Yes, brother, I'll buy a ring light very soon. Thank you for it. I thought people can see me, and Nakib is saying I'm almost invisible. So thanks for your comment, Akib. I'll try to go with the natural color.
ඒවා මාරු කරන්න බෑනේ අපිත් මේ ලයිට් දාගෙන ඉන්නේ.
Afghanistan ගැන කතා කරද්දී they have some key players as well, especially Gurbaaz and Zadran. Those two are starting well for them in recent ODIs. Gurbaz had a 150, I think, versus Pakistan, one of the matches, 151 or 151 balls. So, and also Rashid Khan, you can never underestimate him. How can he perform? He's one of the key players in world cricket as well. මොනවා හිතන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝගේ lineup එක ගැන?
Very good lineup. Solid lineup. අපිත් එක්ක සීරීස් එකක් එකක් දිනලත් තියෙනවා. So they know who we have played quite a lot against each other recently. And they will want to bring their A game. The only problem for them will be the pressure that they have to win, the margin that they have to win. But other than that, they are a very experienced, good, solid cricket team. Will come hard at us definitely, especially Ramanala Gurwas and Sardan at the top. They'll come very, very hard at us, and that also will create opportunities.
Also formidable bowling lineup. Faruqi left arm on the ball karna, and with the spinning lineup with Mujib then goda kape batsman lagena danna with LPL modera ball kara LPL lege. So we'll hope for the best with regards to our match. And when it comes to the World Cup, Dino Kavi Balno, like you can, all the 10 teams are very competitive.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
teams that they got super stroke makes up in New Zealand, Australia, South Africa sides gatti, they didn't have guys like who will totally take the game away කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ power hitters ලා එච්චරම හිටියේ නැහැ කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Now අපි දැක්ක මේ New Zealand Australia match එක like from the word goes kill him out of the ground in it. So this time World Cup will be very competitive.
Absolutely very competitive. පොඩි chance එකක් තියෙනවා අපිට අපි ගහන්නේ ඉන්දියාවල අපි දන්න pitch ටික ගහන්නේ very will be very similar to pitches in Sri Lanka. අපි මං හිතන්නේ අපි ගහනවා බැංගලෝර් ඩෙල්ලි ලක්නව් ඒ වගේ තැන්වල ගහනවා. So බැංගලෝර් වලත් අපි මං හිතන්නේ ඔස්ට්‍රේලියා මැච් එක අපි ගහන්නේ බැංගලෝර් වල බවුන්ඩරිස් පොඩ්ඩක් පොඩි එහෙ but එතකොට තමයි ඔය මාර්ෂ්ලා ස්ටොයිනස්ලා එම එන්නේ පිච් එකට. So it'll be very interesting, but I think we are capable in these type of wickets to put those Sena countries under pressure. And if we can get our batting right, bowling has a lot of experience. I think we should be in the top 4. We should be knocking the door in the top 4 definitely.
Do you think Afghanistan is a good 50-over team yet? It's a good question.
Still no. It's a maturing team. They're a good T20 side because වැඩි හිතන්න නෑ T20 game එක. You just go with the flow. But they are still yet to play a lot of 50-over games across the world. Then that's the time you gain a lot of experience. You need to play in conditions like Australia, in England, in South Africa, in Sri Lanka, in India. So that's where you get a lot of experience. These players, they're all T20 players. They play for a lot of franchises. They are a maturing team, but they're a dangerous team. Very skillful, dangerous 50-over team is Afghanistan. But they are maturing. They're a young team. Probably in the next World Cup, they'll be in the top 4. But for them to keep on going for 10 matches at a stretch, it's going to be a little difficult, but you can write them off.
And coming into last few questions, Matisha Patrina ගැන ගොඩක් අපි social media වල දැක්කා that he's Dhoni's boy, Dhoni තමයි ආව ගෙනාවේ, Dhoni නිසා තමයි එයා දැන් ඉන්නේ, Dhoni තමයි ආව ඇදුවේ ඔක්කොම now all kind of news. But I disagree on that, Dinuk. You can comment on that as well, because from the under 19 days, I think SLC was looking after him, and he was there in the squad as well for the last Asia Cup. Unfortunately, he was injured or didn't play after the first game, and also for the New Zealand tour, he was there with the team, and unfortunately, due to COVID, he couldn't play the rest of the games. And SLC king yawa balagena SLC coaches la tatte godak wada karනවා. So me වගේ when you see comments like this, what do you think, Dinuk? What's your take on that?
I think, it goes back to a lot of days. I think, he started off playing top level cricket at Trinity, played there 2 seasons, performed well, couldn't play a lot of games for Trinity because he was playing for Sri Lanka under 19. But there is always someone who will bring the talent out of you. And I think that was Dhoni. Matisha had him. Sri Lanka looked after him. but it was Dhoni who used him, who brought the talent out of him, gave him the opportunity to perform. Because IPL එකේ perform කරනවා කියන්නේ ලේසි නෑ. එතකොට මතීෂ මෙච්චර මැචස් ගහලා තිබ්බේ නෑ. වැඩිය ශ්‍රී ලංකාත් in and out ගාලා තිබ්බේ because Sri Lanka cricket did not want to take that risk කියලා කිව්වොත් හරි. to මේ නිකන් හරි මොනවාරි වුණොත් මේ ළමයා මොනවද වෙන්නේ කියන එකට වඩා අර ෆිනිෂ් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් වගේ හදලා 23 24 වල වගේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා එකට හෙමින් ඇතුළට එන්න වගේ තමයි I don't know would have been the plan, but also Matisha's injuries also played a lot on him. Whenever Sri Lanka toured, he was always had a long standing elbow injury. Good to see that is off him. But I think Dhoni gave that opportunity, the stage, and gave the freedom to perform for him, and that's where he just blew up. He shined. He showed the world that he could perform. So it's always a mix. Sri Lanka has put in a lot of effort. If you put it this way, Lakshman Kadirgama once said that Oxford wala it was icing on the cake for him, but the cake was baked in Sri Lanka. So very similar for Matisha Patiram. The cake was baked in Sri Lanka, icing and the cherry on top was laid by Dhoni.
Perfect example for it. And let's thank MSD for grooming our boy as well, and we're seeing him delivering under pressure for Sri Lanka now, especially in the last game. Kudos to Dasun as well for using him brilliantly in that match. So we'll hope for the best. Tomorrow, Dino, what do you think will be the man of the match for tomorrow's game?
Predictions could go wrong, but I think Dimuth has to stand up tomorrow. If he stays there for 40 overs, we are winning the game. So he has to stand up. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, I can't put a name on the man of the match. If I had to be bold, I'll say DDS, but you have to wait and see.
So for the best, Dinuk, and talking about the Nepal vs India game, a formidable total by Nepal for 230 of 48 overs and for all out, and India could be under pressure in power play. They have a very good batting lineup, but few wickets initially we might have a good game because Nepal has a good spin bowling options. They were not really exposed in Pakistan because those are flat pitches, but coming into Sri Lanka in Pallegale, ball might spin, and they have some good. We saw good left armer in Nepal bowling, and also Sandeep Lamichan, who has a bit of experience internationally as well. So බලමු ඒක මොනවද වෙන්නේ කියන්නේ.
හොඳ මැච් එකක් වෙයි. ඒක තමයි මේ විකට්ස් ටික බලාගෙන හිටියේ පෙන්නන ගමන් හොඳ මැච් එකක් වෙයි කියලා හිතනවා. But concern for me, Jasprit Bumrah has flown back to India. He will be back කියලා කියනවා. Oh, okay.
Maybe.
So I didn't know that. I thought it was something to do with his injury. Then congratulations to him.
And I think he'll be back for the Super 4 games, most importantly for the Pakistani game. And we'll hope that it will be played in Colombo under a packed crowd, just like the LPL. We will have a packed crowd in Colombo for the India-Pakistan game with good
weather God's blessing. Yeah, and the weather God's blessing.
Yes, a lot of games coming up, a lot of important games coming up this weekend, especially the knockout finals as well. And also reminding our fans regarding the Soccer Sevens. No Limit Zaira Super 16 Soccer Sevens is due this weekend, so we are signed up as a digital media partner. So we'll be streaming through our Facebook and YouTube. All the matches, 16 teams will be participating. 16 top football playing schools in the country. This is only seventh football tournament played in Sri Lanka for schools. So national selectors, especially the Football Federation and everyone we'll have a close eye on this for national selections. So wishing all the schoolboys all the very best, and tune in to knockout to watch the games live. And thanks, Dino. Thanks for your time. We'll catch you soon with a rugby show with one of another guest. So most probably St. Joseph's coaching staff member Dulanjan Vijay Singh will be joining us. So along with Dinuk Bhaskaran from Trinity College Rugby Committee. So I'll take it that way, Dinuk. Is it okay?
No. That's fine. Yeah, not a problem.
So we'll have good conversation about a lot of on and off field. We might have a long chat regarding it, regarding the referee decisions, regarding the tries, make a try, make a penalty, make a red card, make a yellow card. So might go on for some time. Bear with us, and we'll come back to you soon. Thanks, Dinuk. Thanks everyone
Thanks,
for the
Akif.
time.
Thank you. Okay, bye.